Hello, hello, hello. What's happening, everybody? Happy Friday to everybody. Happy Red Friday. It's called, don't have any red on today, but Red Friday stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. So wanted to put that out there and just put out to keep those amazing warriors of ours in your prayers every single day. There are plenty of our warriors are still forward deployed. I know they don't get a lot of talking time in the news, but I just wanted to share that with everybody before we get started today. So, welcome to Bill Korman's Mindset Revolution. We do this every Friday, straight up 12 noon East Coast time. And so, for those of you that are tuning in to us live, welcome. And for those of you that are watching this on a replay, as we mentioned a couple weeks ago, that this will be turned into an official podcast called Bill Korman's Mindset Revolution (BKMR). And our hopes and prayers and dreams of this particular channel, as it's going to be, is that it helps every single person around the world with that little extra step they need for breakthrough, to be able to have that breakthrough capacity in their life, to understand the power of human nature, the law of human nature, and then how it works, how our brain works, and then to help us with breakthroughs on that. As you guys saw, we had the amazing Danny Z here last Friday. He told us an incredible story about his life, his journey, overcoming challenges, and I got tons and tons of feedback from everybody was on here, and some people that actually watched the replay, and they said, "Man, that was amazing. Looking forward to watching Danny Z." A bunch of people said they were going to go back and watch America's Got Talent and watch his incredible escape artist technique that he does. And it's truly amazing. So our commitment to you guys, commitment every single week, is to bring you content that moves the needle, have discussions, real life discussions that move the needle, to help you with the challenges you're going through in your life and to walk you through the process of getting there. And our commitment on top of that is to bring you incredible guest speakers that have overcome those challenges in life. They help people with that every single day, and how they have overcome those challenges. More importantly, how can we use those, right? How can we take and assimilate those things that they've done, the things they've been through in their life, their mindset shifts that they've worked on, and be able to take that to the next level. So it's, again, my extreme pleasure to be able to host this channel and to be able to bring it to you as just another reminder that, as we're going through notes from the team, is that this channel is open to everybody, not just people that are part of our companies, the 5 companies we own, but this is open to everybody. So if you have a friend, a parent, sibling, somebody in your business, somebody that you think could benefit from this, send them a link and have them go ahead and log in and be part of it for us. As you know, we like open dialogue. We like having conversations together, not just show up for an hour just to hear me talk or a guest speaker talk, but we want to process through issues with you. So I want to start off with this amazing journey, that I've been on, and where I'm at today in my life, but in my amazing family, the blessings that I have in my life, and the opportunities I have in my life versus where I was, let's say, 20 years ago, right? So in 2000, so many of you know my story growing up. I'm the first generation born in the United States. I'm the son of immigrant father and grandparents. They came here. They actually were escaped the Holocaust, came to the United States. They worked their tails off. They built multiple businesses. They worked and helped out in different charity organizations. My grandmother, Bubby, was in charge of working with the DAS organization. But I grew up with a sick work ethic. And one of the things that the example I was shown is that if there's an obstacle in front of you, you have a couple options. You can let it be an obstacle, or you can dig underneath of it. You can move it out of your way. You can climb over it. You can blow it up, or you can ask for help, and get through that challenge. I think more and more today, the thing I love is the fact that people are more and more open today to asking for help, to getting counseling, to going out and realize they're not on an island by themselves. There's tools, there's resources and things to help you through. But so just thinking back to 2008, where my life was. The lowest point in my life was sitting in a parking garage in Baltimore, Maryland, bawling my eyes out for 3 hours, having a conversation with God as I had just gone through getting my butt chewed out by, well, if you guys read the book, I'd say I thought she was about 2 foot tall, but she was probably maybe 4'11". This judge that was chewing me out about being irresponsible with money. So I don't know if I'll let you keep her home, blah, blah, blah. And I'm looking at my attorney like, why don't you say something? And so that from that point to what our life has become today, for my family, for the Korman family, for the legacy, the things that have, the blessings that happened and to my wife and I, overcoming different challenges, the things that we have been, the blessings that we've had, 4 amazing children. And we have our in-laws who've been involved with our kids, from the very beginning, and being able to help with that, the journey, the amazing opportunity they had growing up, to some of the challenges, right? It wasn't always rosy. Many of you know about the boat explosion, a fire that we had with that. There's things that, happen with that. We've lost some family members. And so it wasn't always rosy, but I think the most interesting thing is if we were given, so many times we asked, what if I was given the roadmap, right? What if, like a GPS, right? What if I knew what the destination was? Our pastor asks this all the time when he asks people their why is. He says, if you don't know your why, and I can't wake you up out of a dead sleep, I'm ad libbing because this is what I ask all the time. I should be able to wake up at a dead sleep and ask you what your why is, and you should be able to fire it off just like that. And if you can't, then it's probably not. If you think about your why and it doesn't make you emotional, it's probably not your why yet. You probably got through layer 1 of the onion, layer 2 of the onion, but you haven't got to the core of it yet. And as I think back again on the journey over, let's say, the last 20 years, from going from the lowest point of my life in that parking garage to the blessings we have today, on the journey, it just is. I'm in awe. I literally every single morning I'm on my knees having a conversation with God and thanking Him for the abilities that I have, the blessings, the people that He's put in my life, all of our amazing teams that we have, and all of our companies, our agents, the partnerships we have, the staff we have. It's just amazing, amazing blessing. And I remember thinking that at that point in my life that it was close to being over. Right, I had some crazy thoughts at that time. It's the lowest point of my life as a father, a husband, as a provider for my family, and again to think about today. So how do you get there? Right, that's what the topic for today is: human capacity. Right, how do we get from that point, right, from there, and being at a point, the lowest point of your life, to being truly blessed and feeling a life that you're living a life today? I feel like I'm the luckiest man alive. And the blessings I have, sometimes I tell God I don't feel like I deserve it. Thinking back to when I got introduced to the life insurance industry, and things were okay then. They weren't like truly amazing financially, but I was making close to $200,000 a year from the government and some other things that we had going on. And I got I got a message from a guy named Oscar Hernandez on LinkedIn that introduced me to a company, and then that led me to getting to meet him, get to know him better, getting to know his mentor better, getting to be mentored by Patrick Bet-David, and on and on and on. Right, and that journey, in also going through what I went through, increased my capacity because it increased my connection and my deeper connection with God. One of the things that everybody knows, if you know me, is that I will never apologize for what I believe and what I stand for ever. But I also respect everyone else and what their beliefs are and what they stand for. So again, you'll never get that. Now I may sit down with you because I'm my lifelong journey is to be a student. You'll hear me ask questions. You'll hear me ask for clarification. You'll hear me sometimes drill down on those things, but not in a disrespectful way, but in a capacity to be curious. I'm always curious. When people think differently than me, I'm curious. Not I'm trying to shove my point down their throat. Is I'm actually curious. I'm not trying to convince them of anything. You guys have heard me say this many times. Man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Right? So we went from there 20 years ago. Now we're talking about, this is the power of capacity. Many of you read John Maxwell's books, right? There's a law, right? The book on the laws is the law of the lid. And you think about if you think about the law of the lid, you have like that's it. You can't go above that lid. Every time you try to do that, you're hitting your head. So we went from there, from the growing up, and then thinking things were going well. I remember sitting in a executive steering committee meeting in the military, and I'm sitting there around the table, and there's all these senior officers and senior civilians. And at one point, I was making more through real estate than all of them combined, monthly, than their monthly salary. And I'm thinking, oh, I've arrived. Well, got it, a different plan. So all that got shaken up. And then today, so here's the change in capacity. Today, we're talking about one of our companies, Built for Life Financial Agency, okay, having $1 billion in revenue in the next 3 years or less with 1,000 or less agents. How about that? A billion, 1B with a billion, $1 billion in revenue with 1,000 or less agents. We've been through the numbers. This is not something I threw out there. We've been through the numbers. We have a CFO. We have amazing, gifted, talented. We have people on our staff like Dr. Stephen Crane, who owns multiple companies, serial entrepreneur, a critically acclaimed author. And we've studied the numbers, right? We've studied what other companies have done, and we literally created a brand new game in that particular part of our life in our company. Built for Life Financial Agency, we're literally created a whole different game. We have no competition. What we built, nobody's doing. So there's no competition. So we don't have to study the leaderboard. We just have to get better every single day at what we do. And so I want you guys to think about that in the level of capacity, right? Think about where you are today, and think about if you have, and again, so if you guys are tuning in, I'm going to challenge you to do something today. I'm going to challenge you, if you're on an iPad, or you take out a piece of paper, grab your phone, put in your notes. I want you to take a few minutes, and I want you to write down, if you could design the ultimate life for you, right? No one else's, not your spouse, not your kids, for you. If you could design your ultimate life, what would that look like? And I know sometimes we've done this before. You've been asked to do this before. You've been challenged to do it before. But I want you to do it through a different lens today. And we're going to do, I got a cool video, short video to share that we actually created. It's really cool, owner of the technology company as well, that we created this video. It's really cool, short, but I think it'll drive home the point of helping you understand that you have not even remotely come close to your capacity. Not even close. I'm not anywhere in my capacity. You're not anywhere in your capacity. We literally are living within a framework in our mind that we've created. We created this, right? We've created the fact that we put those limitations on us. Nobody else. Nobody else. It's just us. And I'm going to walk you through that today. We're gonna process through that today as we walk through this journey of human capacity. So I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock, and I just want you to sketch out. It doesn't have to be super detailed. That's going to be your homework. Right? Your homework is going to be to flush it out, get it more crystal clear, colors, location, exactly what it is. How it works, the people that you're connected with, who you are, what their names are, what their ages are, what the house looks like, what the cars look like, what the family looks like that you have, where your family's at. You're going to go through on this journey with me over the next several weeks to clarify that, so that it's so crystal clear that you feel like you won't even have to close your eyes. Like a lot of times we say close your eyes and then dream and walk on a journey with me for the ultimate life. But what if you could get so crystal clear on that you didn't even have to close your eyes? You just literally stare off into the distance and you see yourself, with your children, with your grandchildren, walking where you want to be. It's a farm, it's a house, it's a nonprofit, it's a charity, it's a freedom. It's sitting on the beach, right? It's in a private airplane. It's sitting around knowing that nobody ever owns your time, whatever it is for you. But for right now, just put 5 minutes on the board, and I want you to just sketch out, if there were no limits, right? Time, money, your mental capacity, resources were not an issue. What would the ultimate life look like for you? And please do it through this lens that there are no limits. Zero. So I'm gonna put 5 minutes on my timer, and I'll be back. I want you guys to really spend some time on it. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about this amazing gift that God's given us called capacity. All right, there we go. There we go. Let's see, got multiple timers going on here. Yes. There we go. All right. So hopefully you guys were able to sketch out at least an outline in 5 minutes that we gave you. Many of you have done this before, but again, we're going to over the next several weeks, we're going to process through this because one of the things that has been a game changer for me is to have a life board, right? Some people call it, you got a goals board, your visual board, your visuals board. We've done several opportunities within one of our companies, Built for Life Financial Agency, to help people with that and doing a vision board. And I like to call it a life board. We're going to change the name of that. We're going to do some things. Anybody that's coming to the 168 game conference on November 20 to 22nd, you guys are going to have your life change, transform forever. Your minds are going to be blown. The people that we're bringing in to teach and train, obviously it's framed around becoming a time ownership master in there, but there is so many life. When you look at neuroscience, you look at the books that are written about like human capacity, what we've seen, what neuroscience has now proven, all the years of thinking that affirmations were hocus pocus has been proven that it's not a myth, that it's not it's a pie in the sky thing. It's one of those Pollyanna thing. No, it's been proven through math and science, through neuroscience, and brain mapping, that it actually works. 100% is irrefutable. So the question is, if that's the case, then why is it still that there's some people in the world who would never in their life be exposed to personal development, personal growth, challenges, opportunities like, reading the book, The 168, reading even better, 1,000 times better than that, Think and Grow Rich. The Start with the Why, the compound effect, things like that, right? And so, but those of us that have had a chance to read those things and have been involved in companies or opportunities, we've been to seminars and webinars, and we know we have the tools. So the question that I have for you as you're developing out, this is why we're going to spend a couple of weeks on this. It's not the only thing I'm giving, so we're going to bring guest speakers, but each week I'm going to challenge you when we first start for people to come on that have done it. And again, if you're comfortable, we're not putting anybody on the spot, but I promise you, the more that you visualize it, the more it comes out of one of our agents, Ben James. I love, he coined this term, your boca grande, right? Your big mouth. We say a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff comes out of our mouth every single day. The question is it positive? Is it motivating to you, right? Not to anybody else. Is it motivates you each day to want to go the next level, to accomplish what's on your list for the day? Do you have a list for the day? Like, do you write out at night or in the first thing in the morning, no matter what, your non-negotiables for the day that you're going to do? Because as you're building out this life that you want to have, this unlimited, this limitless life, as we do that, the question I have is that, and I'll give you guys an opportunity if anybody wants to share what they wrote down. I would love for you guys to unmute and do that. But the question becomes, those of us that have the exposure to that, why don't we have the life that we said? Why don't we do our affirmations every single day, no matter what? Why? Like what is it? It's like knowing that if you go down this road, they take you there. They show you a briefcase of $1 million, and all you have to do is go back to the starting line and go walk this road, and you're going to get $1 million. That's where we're at in this journey of neuroscience and human capacity. The science is there. It proves it, that it literally, they've studied it, that the old habits are our habits are microscopic grooves in our brain, And when we don't try to get rid of that, we create a new habit, aka reading your affirmations out loud every single morning and night, naked in the mirror, right? Just you by yourself. That process of doing that, that old habit literally starts to fade away. The little groove in the brain literally starts to fade away, and that new habit is formed as a new groove. So if we know that literally doing that one thing sets us up for success for everything we want in life, why aren't that many people doing it? I'll give you an example. In one of our companies, Built for Life Financial Agency, we have a challenge for all of our agents. Simple. I put it out there. We keep talking about it. We put it out there. All they have to do is say it out loud once, a minimum once. We prefer twice a day, and put one word in our communities. Done. That's it. Just done. That's affirming that they're committed to themselves, to their increasing their human capacity, and they're putting it out there. No, not that you need a public declaration, because the only thing that matters is you, yourself, and I, right? Because if you can master you, yourself, and I, if I can master myself and I can master anything else in my life. I can master my relationships, I can master future relations, I can master my money, I can master my time. The problem is we try to fix all those other things except to fix the one person that has to be fixed, because if we fix this, then we fix everything else will fall in order. It's the order of the kingdom, right? It's how God set the order of the kingdom, right? He didn't give us, we don't like arrive with a family, we arrive with us and we go through a journey. And then we go to a point where we're exposed to a family, then we have a family, and then we get jobs, and we get jobs and you have a family. So the question becomes why? 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 Why don't we do the daily affirmations over and over and over and over again? Why don't we do it? Why? What again? So two things. So I want anybody that wants to share about what you wrote down. I'm going to open the mic up for a few minutes to do that. And then if you'd like to, or somebody doesn't want to share, but you have an answer to the question, why don't we do something that has been proven, not pie in the sky, not hypothetical, has been proven. It will literally change the chemistry of our brain, daily affirmation. So I'll give you a couple minutes. Anybody wants to unmute and share what they. While you're doing that, was because always nobody ever wants to go first. But anyway, while you guys are doing that, while you're thinking about it, while you're getting up the courage to unmute yourself, I'll challenge you with this. If you've not watched the video, okay, Steve Harvey's 300 list, just type in YouTube, Steve Harvey's 300 list. If you haven't watched that video, if you do nothing else, take nothing else out of this talk, when you watch this on the replay, when you're seeing it years down the road or a couple months down the road on a podcast, please go search the YouTube video. Again, when we have the channel up and running and these things are being processed by our team, and the podcast is up and running, we will post those as resources for you. But for now, my challenge to you today is, and if it's been a while since you watched the video, you go watch it again. And I'll give you a quick summary of it. Okay, we serve a limitless God. So when you ask God for something, guess what God said? No problem, I'm sending it. But here's the problem. He sends it to Faith Street, Faith, Faith Street. Problem is most of us, and hopefully somebody will unmute their mics and share what you wrote down, or share on the question of why we don't read our affirmations every single day. And he said he sent it to Faith Street. But guess what happened? You moved on to, well, that'll happen to someone else for it. Or you've moved on to, yeah, I've waited long enough Street. Or that's for someone else who's not an immigrant avenue, or it's for someone that comes from a different family background, different ethnicity uh, um, street, right? You see, we moved. We mentally, physically moved. And guess what God said? He goes, you asked for it, I sent it, but I sent it to Faith Street, and your address has changed. And so guess who gets the blessing? The person that's on Faith Street. So, so that's the power of that. So please, anybody live today on here with us, or if you watching this on a replay in the future, you've never watched that video, go to YouTube, search, type in Steve Harvey's 300 list, and watch the challenge he puts out there. More importantly, take the challenge and watch what happens to your life. So again, I'll give 1 or 2 minutes if anybody wants to unmute and share what you wrote down, and then we got a couple more cool things for you, because we're going to dive into human capacity.
All right, brother.
Let's
Hey,
go,
good
Vic.
morning. Good morning.
Good morning,
Well,
my
you
brother.
well you presented and asked a lot, and you know how my mind is probably not as close as curious as you, but it goes in all directions. So, so that simple statement, a lot of times it's focused. But but you asked a deep question, and the thing when I started writing these lists and just outlining my mind immediately went to the view or perspective of when you're writing out your life, immediately went to spiritual life, home life, and then my life in the world. So mine didn't come down to just one, it went automatically to three lists. And the powerful statement I had to write down the side and because you also asked, why don't we do it? Why don't we do affirmate? Why don't we do these powerful things? Because I shared the same message. There is power in the world. It's which word are you using? And number two, on the column, I wrote three things as we go into the question, and that was how do we? There's the spiritual view, specifically, how does God see us? Number two, does the world see us? And three, how do we see ourselves? And one of the first challenges is which view are we going to choose to look at her and focus on? Because from a previous, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, you asked another really powerful question. You know, what limits us? What keeps us from doing the things we want? Even this simple task of speaking out uh, and verbalizing these affirmations. And and I was just speaking. You know, I was just called back into youth ministry, and I was with a bunch of youth, and we were going over that same question. And one of the things that came up, and I'm just going to summarize what came out of that conversation, was many times the limitations and things that place on us, the world's already doing that, but we do it to ourselves from, I had to write it down. Here, what came out of it because I just was remembering it, and that was our capacity of life, the limitations that we have in our life, the things that shackle us to the world. We need to first look at the fears, pains, the limitations, and rejection that the world has placed on us. And why do we accept it? And more seriously, why do we even keep it? And that's one of the struggles we have, even when it
Yeah,
comes down to making a list of affirmations and speaking that to ourselves in a mirror once or twice a day.
absolutely. You're exactly right. So, question for you then. So what did you just give me a snippet, like 20, 30 seconds into an outline of what you wrote down for you. What is the ultimate life of it?
The ultimate life?
Yeah, it could be in any of those categories. It could be
Oh, any
faith
of
and
this guy?
family.
I'll bullet point it. It's heaven, talking with Father, my Heavenly Father, and Jesus, and have all answer all the questions that I still have in my mind. Being with family in love and unity, and exploring, uh, heaven and all its wonderful experiences, and that just translated into here on Earth. It's this. It ended up being the same. It's like family, togetherness, a home where not only my family can come, where others we care about and we can invite uh, the time, the time to spend that with others. And then in the world there us is sharing, it's sharing Jesus' love and having that same experience. Home, family, relationships, experiences, the beautiful showing and experience the beautiful life that we're blessed with each and every single day and sharing that with others. So it came to the same conclusion, the same outline, just in its different place. And it was like, as I was going through it, it's just flooded with thoughts and memories. And it's like, okay, how do you simplify this to just statements, which you can, which is the process that you're asking us to do. The 300 lists, when you break it down to details, what do those details look like? specifically, and those change with decades and experiences. My list has changed just even in the last months, so it's something to revisit, especially if you're not moving forward in the area that you're focused on. So another bullet point was what I believe, what do I put my trust in, how to identify myself, and are those affirmations feeding any one of those three or all three in the journey?
Perfect. So again, so my challenge then to you and to everyone else is between now and next week is to refine that down. So tonight you go to sleep.
Mhm.
Tomorrow you wake up and you literally whatever you wrote down on your piece of paper, all your wildest dreams, everything comes true tomorrow when you wake up. What is that life look like? Right? Not hypothetically, not well, they'd be like, and and relationships are better and all this kind of stuff. But the challenge to you and everybody else is an exact step-by-step picture, as if it was a painted mural of what that life looks like. Right. So that's a challenge for
Mhm.
you, for everybody else, anybody watching this. We're going to dive deeper into that next week, right? So that's a challenge for everybody. So go in prayer, start with an outline, just put bullet points down, and then say, okay, tomorrow I wake up, and then the questions you want to answer is that when I wake up, where am I at, right? Am I,
Mhm.
but if I'm obviously waking up, I'm in a bedroom. What's the bedroom look like? Or am I on the beach? When the shades alarm goes off at a certain time, or do I just wake up whenever I want? When the shades open, are you opening the shades? They open automatically. When you go outside, when you go to your deck, wherever it is you're looking outside, is it are you looking at mountains? Are you on the water, ocean, on the lake, or somewhere in the United States, in another country? It should be that vivid. What does the bedroom look like? How many bathrooms do you have? The
Mhm.
house, where you live, the meal, the food you eat. Are you preparing your own meals? Is someone preparing it for you? Who's with you? What's the yard look like? What are the cars that you drive? What does your day look like as you start, right? Are you involved in philanthropy, nonprofit? Are you still building your businesses?
Mhm.
Are you involved in, do you still have a job, but now you get to do it on your terms versus someone else? It needs to be that crystal clear that you write it down that detailed so that you actually can say a prayer, go to bed tonight, and tomorrow morning you wake up and that's your new life. And we're going to go on that journey together to design that
Mhm.
life, but not just design it because you can put stuff on a piece of paper. We're actually going to go through on a journey together in BKMR here of helping you go and get that life, right? Get that life. So it starts by identifying what it is you want. Then it starts for me is going to God and asking for that life. Then it's the part of being faithful because he's sent into the faith street.
That's right.
Also challenges us, right? I have an affirmation I say every day. I I pray like it's up to God, but I work like it's up to me. Because he's
Mhm.
saying, look, I created you with strength and discipline and incredibles, the seeds of greatness inside of you. I didn't say I was going to do it for you. I gave you the capacity to do that. And so that's what we're going to here we switch over. So as we switch over to specifically talking about human capacity, that's my challenge to each and every one of you. Please get crystal clear about what you want. Stop waiting, stop putting it off, stop thinking it's pie sky, because I promise you, you will not. It's very, 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 very rare where you hear me say something negative. But it's not because those things I promise you is on the positive side. And if you do this, is what happens. I'm going to say this here, and we're going to put it on repeat. The team that we're putting together to build out the BKMR and the things we're doing, the conferences, the 160 gig, all this stuff that we're doing for you, for the world, for the community, for the breakthroughs. I will promise you, if you don't do that, yes, you can guarantee what won't happen.
Mhm.
If you don't do that, the life that you want, you will never have it. No matter how hard you work, no matter how hard you pray, you will not have that life ever. Why? Because you never got clear on it. It was kind of fuzzy. It was all this warm, googly, let's all get along, blah, 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 blah crap. It's all crap. If you read the books from the most successful people in the history of the world, one common denominator is they were crystal clear about what they wanted and they went after it. So if we don't have that defined for ourselves, crystal clear about what we want, we will never have it, ever. And you're going to look back and say, God, I was faithful. I did this. I was in prayer. I went here. I gave to church. I gave tithing to church. I took care of people. I helped people. And he's like, yeah. But number one, you never came to me to say, hey, what's in your heart for me, right? You never asked for to say, what is those seeds of greatness you planted inside me? You never asked me about that. That was my journey, knucklehead. And then you sat around and waited for something to change, and you never changed. Because you weren't crystal clear about what you wanted, you never got any of it. Your life never changed. You got what you were clear about. What are you clear about today? I owe, it's off to work. I go, right? Oh, I got to pick the kids up, right? We got dinner, I got this church event. That's great. But what is the life that you want? Write it down. Do over and over again. It should be in that technicolor, it's so alive and it's so real that you can reach out and touch it. And at that point you will have it. It's not magical, it's a poof like that. But it's when you're crystal clear, guess what happens? Everything you do, every second, every minute, every hour of the day, you're working in that capacity. So what's that capacity? Okay. So let me ask you guys this. When I say capacity, what does that mean? What are you guys thinking when I say the word capacity?
I guess that's what you're capable of doing.
Okay. Capability. All right.
Yeah.
What else? What's another thing that pops into your mind when somebody says, what's the capacity? What's
Limit,
limits? Okay. Absolutely.
maximums,
Yep. Maximum, right? Because the battery, right? Time, right? Battery, think about like we say capacity, right? It's a 9 volt, it's a 12 volt, it's a AAA, right? It has capacity, right? Availability. Availability is another one. Kim said that's great points. Yeah. Time, right? We think time is limited, right? It's 24 hours in a day. There's a way to make that on a whole nother level. We'll talk about what else. What else? Some things that
First words that came up mine was energy, power,
okay,
or strength.
right? Power, right? Energy, power, strength. Right? There's a capacity is a limit. Okay. Measurement. Okay. Right. Capacity. Right. You can measure that. What else? Anybody else? Next question. If I was to ask you, what's your capacity for sticking to one particular goal? What is your capacity to stick to just one goal? What would you say? What's your time? Can you do it for a day, a week, 90 days, a year? What would you say? Not what you'd like to do, but what do you, if you were to judge yourself right now, what would you say your capacity is right now if you would just had one goal that you had to focus on?
I'm going to say honestly, probably 2 weeks, unfortunately.
Okay. That's what it is. So this is how we get better, right? First, we have to be real, right? We have to say, okay, I know myself. I've seen what I can do. This is my capacity. Currently, I can stick to, if I'm focused on just one thing for 2 weeks. Perfect, Kurt. Thank you. Thank you for being, chiming in and being honest. That's what this is about. Anybody else? If you would think about your capacity to stick to something, what would you say it is? Based on your past performance, like your track record.
I would have to agree with Kurt about a week or two.
Okay. Yeah, so plates capacity be limited by time, so we need to maximize my time. Okay, absolutely. So based on your track record, plates, what would you say it's been your past like track record, your average that you stick to? If you just not focus on 3 goals or 4 goals, but if it's just one goal that you were working on, how long could you stick to it?
Hmm. Hey, physically on my own,
Yes,
I
on
know
your
I
own,
can
no help.
persevere through many things, but sticking to
Right,
a specific thing,
right.
it's approximately 3 to 7 days on my
Okay,
own.
all right.
However,
Again, and again, thanks, Vic, and that's being honest. So what if I framed it this way? I'll go back to the story of the $1 million sitting in a suitcase. So you're out in the desert, right? And they pick you up and they say, hey, we have this challenge, and we're going to give you we're going to take you, so you know it's real. We're going to take you to uh Steven said like a dog on a bone until the job's done. He ain't kidding. I mean, I've seen that guy go 3 straight days with no sleep just to finish projects. um and so here's the story. They're doing a challenge. It's called the $1 million challenge, and they select 20 people. You go through a process, and here they say, look, we don't want you to believe us. We're going to take you out to the desert where the goal where you're supposed to end up, and we're going to open up the suitcase, and you get to see that they're not joking. There's literally $1 million in that suitcase. Then they take you to some point destination. You have the map, and they said, look, you already know the money's there. all you have to do, all you have to do is just follow this map, and 100% you get the million. And by the way, they show you a van, and there's 20 suitcases in there, each of them with $1 million. So that everyone has the same opportunity, the same chance to get the $1 million. You just have to follow the map. Now they take you back to your starting location, right? And along the way, what do you think happens? What
Doubt.
do you think? Doubt, right? You're walking, you're like, well, was it really a million? I don't know. Maybe the top one were $100 bills, and maybe they filled it because why? It's getting harder, right? And there's challenges, and there's off ramps, and then the weather changes, and then somebody says, hey, can no, forget that. It's more important for us to spend time together and to go to dinner. Then somebody says, well, I really need your help, Kurt, with this. And then the weather changes again, right? And then you're walking, and you realize, man, it's really hot, and then it's really cold, and then you're like, I got to go up a hill. I go down a hill. Man, what is this thing? That's crazy. Why are they taking me off road now? Like, why couldn't I have stayed on the road? It was nice there, right? There was lights. Now I'm in the dark, and I'm walking through the woods in the dark. But again, not a doubt in your mind that $1 million is there, but we start to doubt, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Why does that happen?
It's your mind trying to prepare you for the easy way out as opposed to going through the struggle.
Right. Our minds are literally designed for homeostasis, right? Which means to create stability, to create normalcy, to create it literally, the brain thinks of things that we do over and over again, and it puts it into something called autonomic function. Why? Because it wants to save energy. It wants to maximize output by saving energy. So it puts things on autopilot. So anytime that gets challenged or disturbed, like I put a challenge out there for all of our agents in BFL, say your affirmations out loud twice a day, minimum once, we prefer twice a day, naked. That's it. And you have to only do one thing. You have to log in once a day, or twice a day we prefer, but let's just say once a day, and you put one thing, one word, done. You can even cut and paste it. Done. And still, we only have a small group of people out of all of our agents that are doing it. But yet, those same people expect something magical to happen in their life and their business. Again, you know what that is? It's called human capacity. But what if we could help change the narrative about what our capacity is? What if we could start to believe that we were designed for that life? We were made for that life. We deserve that life. What if we can do that? So I got a short video I want to share with you guys here. And it's again video that we put together here from our team. And we wanted to share it with you guys. Just a little quick full video to showcase that idea of what if you look at capacity through a different lens. One second. Can you guys see the screen there?
Yep, can see it.
All right, I'm gonna make it full size. So, oops. All right, and let's play this bad boy before we share. Stereo. All right, here we go.
A glass of water waits a simple test of what we are able to take in. Press a napkin to its surface and it dampens, falters, and saturates too soon. Now bring a chamois and watch it pull the flood with quiet confidence, absorbing what the napkin could not. The water never changed, only the material meeting it did. Human capacity is not the size of the challenge, but the weave of our preparation, practice, and resolve. Become the chamois, built to absorb more, learn faster, and turn overwhelm into momentum.
All right, so we'll put that in a note so you guys can watch it. I don't know why it's delaying there, but let me stop share here. But I think you guys get the idea, right? So it's real simple. We're going to do a live demonstration for you today, but we're broadcasting not in the studio or in my office. So we put together that video to share it with. So just imagine this. I want you to visualize this. So you get a glass of water. Our current capacity is that of a paper towel or a napkin. If you dip it in there, right, it's going to absorb some of the water. And that's what our current capacity is. We're the capacity of a napkin or a paper towel. But then you go grab a chamois, like a ShamWow. I remember back in the day, the commercial ShamWow. You grab yourself a ShamWow and you stick that bad boy in that glass. Guess what happens? Every single bit of that water is absorbed. What changed? What changed? It's still the glass, it's still the water, it's still the $1 million in the desert. We know it's there, that right? With the life that we want, that we designed, we wrote down for ourselves is there. It's right there. It's there for us to grab it. But we're operating from the napkin or the paper towel mentality and not the ShamWow, not the chamois. Right, Kimberly said what it's made of, right? So we believe that we're a paper towel. We believe we're a napkin. That's what we believe. We've told ourselves that. We've allowed other people to tell us that. But what if we're actually a chamois? What if God designed us and he gave us the capability, the capacity to be a chamois, to absorb all the crap that needs to happen, all the change. That glass of water represents all of the change and the transformation that needs to happen, we need to go through. That's what that glass represents. We're only able to absorb part of it and stick to it is because we're a napkin. Think about it. A napkin will also break apart, right? Unless you got the super absorbent bounty, a paper towel is going to break apart, and even the bounty will. Guess what's happened? I've had a chamois that I have now, a ShamWow, for 25 years. And guess what? It's a licking and still keeps on. I still have that sucker still today. It still works. Right? It still works. It's still super. It hasn't lost any of its absorbing capability, that freaking ShamWow, right? And you remember in the malls, you used to walk in the mall, they were doing the demos everywhere you go. So again, I bought one and I still have it today. And I have other ones. I've bought, newer ones since then, but I still have the original one. And I even messed up and let it dry out one time. I'm like, oh, this thing's dead. What did I do? I soaked it in a bucket of water for a day and now it's back. That's literally how God created us. But most of us will stop at the paper towel. We say, oh, we stop at a napkin. Oh, see, I told you it broke apart. Let me go get a new napkin. Or we stop at the paper towel and we go, see, that's all I can do. So now I got to go take the paper towel. I got to wring it out. I got to go back. I got to fill it up again. I got to wring it out. Now it's falling apart. And still we've only made a dent in the glass. But now we have the chamois, right? We build our mind and our capacity to the level of the chamois, and when we put it in there, it absorbs it. We finally realized that we were born with the capacity to deal with all of the crap, all of the things we have to do to change. It's all there inside of us. Now, that's all cool and nice and stuff to say, but then there's the application, right? So how do we do that? How do we do that? It starts by the first challenge I gave you. You have to know that you're a Shammy. How do you know you're Shammy? Well, you have to know that you have to know what that is. What is your Shammy? Your Shammy is that life that you wrote down that you want. You have to be that crystal clear. I promise you this. Again, I told you I'm Bill Korman's mindset, but I make promises only on things that I have personally experienced that I know we can help you with the breakthrough. I promise you that if you get crystal clear on exactly the life that you want, I promise you, you will become the Shammy. But if you never take the time, if you don't take today, later today, tomorrow, this week, between now and next week when we get back together, when you log on to the channel, if you don't do that, you're going to be stuck as the napkin or the paper towel. And you're going to spend your life running back and forth, dip a little bit into the glass, go squeeze it out, and then you're going to get frustrated because your napkin, your paper towel is going to fall apart. Even the super absorbent bounty will, if you do it enough times, dip it in, go squeeze it out, dip it in, squeeze it out, it's going to fall apart. But the Shammy will not. And it has the ability in one swipe, dip it in, it will soak up all of that nonsense, that crap that's in the glass that needs to be taken out of the glass and transferred somewhere else so that you can refill the glass with the life that God intended you for. You've got to get rid of the other crap. So my challenge is, as we go on this journey to become, and you're going to hear this thing over and over again, become the Shammy, become the Shammy, become the Shammy, you guys will know what I'm talking about, right? Only the revolution people, the BKMR people will know when I say become the Shammy. We're going to go on a journey together to become the Shammy. I'm going to help you with that breakthrough. It's not something that happens overnight, but the part that I cannot do for you, I can walk you through all of the steps, all of the crap that I've been through, share with you what I break through with my counselors that I've had, with the things I go through with my pastor together, the books that I've read, the incredible mentors I have today. I'm part of an elite mastermind group of CEOs from around the world. And I get to absorb things from them. I've created, Kurt got my mind thinking about having a board of councils, right? A AI board of councils, the greatest minds in the history of the world. You can bring them all together and have them as a resource to and pose questions to them. Imagine that, the greatest minds in the history, and you can have them all based on everything that's ever been written on or written about them, biographies, and bring them all together. But what I learned from every single one of them, everything I've ever done, we're going to bring you to tool races. I'll bring you everything I know. That's my promise to you. I cannot do that one part for you. You have to get crystal clear about what you want and the life that you want. The rest of it, I will help you. That part I can't do for you. And if you don't work on it week after week, day after day, and refine it crystal clear so it's in technicolor, none of this other stuff will work. Because you're going to keep regressing back to the napkin or the paper towel, and you will not get to the point where you're a Shammy. The goal is to become the Shammy. All right, so I think we're right at the time here. So today's message, kind of lighthearted, kind of heavy at times, right? You got some challenges there. We'll see. Again, my thing is always about, if this thing helps one person, I've done my job. Right? My goal is for it to help millions and millions of people around the world. That's my goal, is to help all of us together. Every time I prepare for a lesson or I interview a guest speaker to bring on here, I learn something every single time. So I'm on this journey with you. The whole idea is that you never really arrive. It's a journey. But you get to experience new blessings every single time you level up. You get to experience new blessings. So that's my promise to you guys. Your challenge is to today, tomorrow, between now and next week, get as crystal clear as you can about the life that you want to live, that you could write it down, you read it out loud, you go to bed, you wake up the next day, that's your life. Remember, think about the $1 million in the desert. You already know it's there. You saw it for yourself. You got to touch the money. But again, they take you back to the starting line and you wander forever and you never get there. Right? One of my old mentors told me that, and he said it was actually an experiment they did. I think it was in the late 1970s. And out of 20 people, one person actually arrived back to get the $1 million. So obviously $1 million in 1970 is worth a lot more money. But so let's say we'll make it $1 billion. today's money with inflation. So there you go. We're gonna go through it together. So what your homework is, the only thing you have to do is get crystal clear about the life that you want. We'll walk you through the rest of it. Next week we have an amazing guest speaker for you. So make sure that you're tuning in time, you're ready, and you got pen and paper ready to learn, place to take notes. Have a great day. Take care, guys. God bless.